That's ridiculous. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm just taking my plants inside because it's the first week of June and we're dropping down to 45 degrees tonight. I'm not angry at all. Hello. Welcome back to Pittsburgh Home Garden, where today we're going to be talking about some nice, soothing, calming teas. Because your boy has been a little bit irritated. Mother Nature is doing her damn thing right now. It is way too cold at night for it to be June 1st. But you know what? Ultimately, I know it is humans' faults. And honestly, it's really like 20 companies' faults. Don't let them trick you. But nonetheless, we are here to talk about a beautiful, calming, soothing herb that has been used by humans for centuries. And it is mugwort. Known scientifically as Artemisia vulgaris, mugwort is a resilient herb found all across Europe, Asia, North Africa, and North America. Known for thriving in very diverse climates, mugwort is recognized by its silvery green leaves and aromatic scent. Across cultures worldwide, mugwort has been valued for its medicinal properties. Native American tribes utilize the plant by using it to treat headaches, skin ailments, and respiratory issues. Some tribes even referred to mugwort as the dream plant, as they believe that it enhanced dreams and their spiritual experiences. In traditional East Asia, mugwort has played a role in their traditional medicine for centuries. Traditional Chinese practitioners actually use the herb in therapy involving burning mugwort to stimulate acupuncture points. In Korea and Japan, it's actually incorporated into their foods and teas, believed to promote health and vitality. Mugwort's influence extends beyond medicine, though. In various cultures, it's associated with spiritual practices. Many native tribes in the America actually burned it during ceremonies to ward off negative energies. In European traditions, it was believed to protect travelers and was used in rituals to repel evil spirits. On the health side of things, mugwort has traditionally been used to address digestive issues, menstrual irregularities, and to promote relaxation. Compounds in the plant contribute to antibacterial and antifungal properties. However, more scientific research is certainly needed to verify the more antifungal properties. Now, because mugwort has been coming back into style because of things like TikTok, it is very important to think about the precautions that you should take when dealing with a brand new plant. While mugwort offers various benefits, it can cause allergic reactions, especially in individuals who are very sensitive to plants like ragweed. Also, it is very important that pregnant and breastfeeding women do not use mugwort for anything, as this can harm your baby and cause health defects. So please be careful when using this wonderful medicinal herb. Mugwort has gone from ancient rituals to modern herbal teas, and its legacy is so strong. But as with all herbs, it is essential to approach it with an informed respect, honoring both its history, its cultural significance, and doesn't hurt to have a little bit of scientific understanding. So my relationship with mugwort actually started about a year ago. I purchased one of those grow your own tea kits that had 30 different seeds, and of course mugwort was in there, along with wormwood, motherwood, and a bunch of very old-timey type of very traditional teas, which I was very interested in. I wanted to grow something that was a bit more native to my area. I know there are tons of exotic teas, but when thinking about growing your own, of course you have to think about your space and what grows well for you. And if I would have had this knowledge that I have now this year, I would have just went to the woods and picked up my own little batch of good old mugwort, because it grows everywhere. Now that I have this plant in my yard, the more that I drive around and go on walks in the woods, I literally see it growing everywhere. So if you would like to get some good old mugwort, you can go ahead and just look around and you can propagate it easy. It is a rhizome type of growing structure. So you want to dig down and go ahead and get those roots, and then just take the root and transplant it to your yard. I promise you will get such a huge growth, because now that it has picked up its growth, I have been reading that you have to worry about it actually like spreading throughout your entire yard. But if you have a space in which you would like to grow teas, This is a perfect one for that because it fills up a lot of space and it's very much a weed deterrent. I notice in this part of the yard, this is the only thing that is growing right here. So I would actually thinking about transplanting my own and putting it somewhere deep in the yard. But now let's talk about harvesting, drying, and actually putting this wonderful medicinal herb to use. Okay, so one big thing when thinking about harvesting medicinal herbs, if you plan on using them in a very medicinal type of way, is thinking about at what stage you are harvesting and for what purpose. Now, if you are using something like mugwort for, let's say, like menstrual cramps, you're going to want to harvest the younger plant because this has more concentration of the chemicals that actually aid in your cramping. If you are harvesting mugwort because you have read about the ethereal dreams that can happen, then you want to go with a more kind of like medium-sized plant because you are going to want a good amount of leaf matter. And for someone like me who is actually using this for more tea purposes and spicing for my meats and my fishes, I can actually take the full grown stalks and I can even use some of the flowers that this eventually will put on if you allow it to grow. So no matter which way you plan on using these medicinal herbs, just kind of keep that in mind. It actually relates very much to like the purpose in which you want to use it for, But in all cases, you're going to want to harvest from the bottom and you want to get these stalks. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a nice little bundle of stalks and we'll talk about different drying methods. All right, so now that we have our wonderful mugwort, we can actually make some decisions. How do we want to dry? And of course, that is based on how we're actually gonna be using this. Now, if you like the more natural drying method and you plan on leaving this outside, you wanna take your bottom stems and take off the bottom leaves. You don't really want this tied up in the twine, so you would like to have a bit of the bare stem. Take a nice little bundle, make sure all these are clear. Imagine all these are clear. And take your bundle and you just want to tie around. You want to go ahead and make sure that you slip the string underneath the knot so that it stays and you can leave it outside. But I have to tell you, if you plan on making teas and you still would like to dry it more like air dry, make sure that you bring it inside the house because there have been times where I have went to make some teas from some naturally dried things and have found some insects inside. It's not an uncommon thing. So if you plan on making teas, maybe dry them inside the house. But if you plan on making spices, you can leave them outside and just throw everything into the grinder. Just take the leaves off, dump those dried leaves right into the grinder with all the insects, and you and I, buddy, are eating bugs. Just like 70% of the world, so it's not a big deal. Now, you can also smudge the air with your good old mugwort. A lot of people think that you only can use white sage to clear your space if you plan on using it more as a burning aromatic. That's not true. There are so many herbs, so many native herbs that have been used for smudging. So if you do plan on doing that, you want to take your twine and you want to give it a nice tight wrapping because you're going to let this actually dry. And this will be the stick that you actually burn in your space. It has been said that when burning mugwort, it actually allows you to tap more into that creative space in your mind, the more intellectual space in your mind, and it helps clear any of that blockage, any of that mental blockage that you may have going on, if you're into that type of thing. So over the last 2 weeks, I've intentionally been using mugwort to really see how it reacts to my body. There are so many different things you can read about these herbs online that you'll never really know if they're true or not unless you take them yourself. So the first night, I actually just took a very small dose to really see how my body would react. There are potentially toxic compounds in this plant if your body is set up in a certain type of way. Now, there are a small percentage of people who actually have an allergic reaction to mugwort and other medicinal herbs. So I want to tell everybody that if you're trying this based on this video especially, please take a nice little test around, take one night, take a small dose, see if you have an allergic reaction. And then on the second night, take a large dose, because that's what I did. I went and filled up my tea bag to the brim, and I actually had a very euphoric night. It put my body at ease. The one reason that I really wanted to grow this plant is because I have several herniated discs from my time in the military, and I have, back pain, back issues, and I was having a couple bad days, wanted to give it a test try, and it actually helped me out very well. So on top of putting me in a very calming mindset, it also helped my body out physically. So that is my personal usage of it. If you enjoy bitter tea, this is certainly for you. This is also like a great mixer for the teas. I like to mix in things like mint with the good old mugwort tea because it adds that good old boost of flavor. I'm going to try throughout the entire summer mugwort with tons of different teas because I believe it affects every tea differently because it is so bitter in this kind of like strained out sense. This video actually wasn't going to exist. I was supposed to be doing my summer planting video, but because Mother Nature is doing her thing, I figure why not make a little tea video. So if you enjoy these little things, these little tea experiments, and would like to see more, please let me know. If you are some type of like herbologist and you really know about this shit, please let everybody know down in the comments. I'm certainly no expert in the field of herbs and actually like using them, but I am trying to get better. So please help us all get better with your comment below if you have them. So I will see you next time. And until then, I'll be here gardening.